Daylight saving time year-round might be the new normal in Oklahoma. And if you're looking for a job in OKC, you might just be able to get some extra cash in your pocket. Plus, Caleb Williams brings home some Big 12 hardware. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us for OU Nightly. I'm Kayleigh Tinglestad.
And I'm Kayla Davis. We begin with what could be the end of a time-honored tradition in Oklahoma.
A group of state lawmakers say they want to end the time changes in Oklahoma when it comes to daylight saving time. OU Nightly's Will Blessing is at the Capitol with more on what could happen.
Earlier today, a member of the Oklahoma Senate made an interesting proposal to keep Oklahoma in daylight savings time.
There are tons of reasons why Oklahoma should be taking a good, hard look at this getting across the finish line.
Oklahoma Senator Blake Stevens gave his pitch Tuesday morning to propose locking the clock, making daylight saving time the official time year-round for the state.
The time has come for us to choose which course we want to get behind.
The meeting had multiple presenters, among them representatives of the Departments of Agriculture, Health, Mental Health, and Commerce. A large focus of the meeting was the effect that time changes have on a person's mental health.
I think we can all agree that time change, the falling back and the springing forward hurts us. Large studies have been shown that any disruption to your circadian clock or your body's clock makes you more likely to have substance use and addiction disorders.
It was also shown that the time change can cause increases in depression, suicides, as well as obesity, and that staying with daylight savings time keeps the body more in sync.
This proposal improves our quality of life. Overall health, whether it be our mental or our physical health. And tell me what that's worth. Put a price on that.
For the proposal to pass, it would need federal approval. However, there are similar bills across the nation, like Florida Senator Rubio's Sunshine Protection Act. At the Oklahoma Capitol, I'm Will Blessing, OU Nightly.
No matter what the legislature decides next session, Oklahomans need to be ready for the time change this year when we shift back to Central Standard Time on Sunday, November 7th.
It's no secret the pandemic caused a labor shortage. To fix this job shortage, Oklahoma City is offering sign-on bonuses to hire in-city positions. Bonuses will range from $2,500 to $5,000 to bolster recruitment efforts. The city is offering cash for jobs like police and firefighter recruits, 911 dispatchers, and construction equipment operators. To apply for these jobs, visit okc.gov and find the careers page.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas has tested positive for COVID-19 despite being vaccinated. The positive test came Tuesday morning as part of routine pre-travel protocols for his scheduled trip to Colombia. Mayorkas is said to be experiencing mild congestion. He will isolate and work at home per CDC protocols and medical advice.
Passengers on a plane crash in Houston, Texas are recovering as authorities investigate what happened. Logan Morrow has that story and the rest of today's headlines from around the world.
Thanks, Kayla. A Boston-bound private jet crashed this morning after taking off from Houston Executive Airport. Waller County Judge Trey Duhon says the plane did not reach altitude at the end of the runway and caught fire in a field north of the airport. All 22 people on the plane were safely evacuated and only minor injuries were reported. The fire has been put out and the Federal Aviation Administration and National Transportation Safety Board will be investigating. South Carolina Judge Clifton Newman denied bond today to former South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh. Murdaugh was arrested Thursday on suspicion of misappropriating settlement funds in connection with Gloria Satterfield's death. Satterfield worked as a housekeeper for the Murdaugh family for more than 2 decades. She died following what was described as a, quote, trip and fall accident in the Murdaugh home in 2018. Judge Newman said he will require Murdaugh to undergo a psychiatric evaluation to be submitted to the court. More than a third of Chicago police officers are defying the city's vaccine mandate. The city required employees to be either vaccinated or test 2 times a week by October 15th and report their status by that same deadline. Those who do not report their status risk being put on unpaid leave. The Chicago Police Department had the lowest response rate of any department in the city, with most of the other departments at or near 100% reporting rate. And ladies, at least one ballistic missile was fired off the eastern coast of North Korea this morning. It is unknown whether or not the missile was fired from a submarine. Back to you.
Oklahoma is seeing less new cases today as the Oklahoma State Health Department reports 422 new cases. This brings the active case total to over 7,700 cases. There are 10,825 deaths in the state. 2 million Oklahomans are vaccinated.
And it feels a lot warmer today than it did over the weekend.
Hannah, Gard, how long will I be keeping my winter coat in the closet?
Yeah, guys, it is warm out there, and that's because we have these very strong southerly winds keeping us on the warmer side, up to 50 miles per hour in Norman. But look in the Panhandle, 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts. It's definitely feeling breezy out there. That's been keeping us nice and warm in the high 70s. Some people seeing 80s in Enid, 85 in Guyman, but most of us just seeing those warmer conditions, and we are almost 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. But if you look up to the north, we can see where this cold front is going to start pushing through. So coming up later in the newscast, I'll have more on the timing for that front. We could see some scattered storms with that, and we could be warming up once again. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Hannah. Severe hailstorms last week are still causing Norman residents and auto body shops to be overwhelmed. OU Nightly's Myles Hartman reports on what's next to repair the damage.
Norman residents are still trying to recover from the hailstorm that blew through central Oklahoma and made a huge impact than what most expected.
It wasn't even drivable ever again after that hailstorm. They had to come tow it out of my driveway. It couldn't even be driven.
The modest repair shop on Lindsay Street is one of the many auto body shops overwhelmed with customers. Steve Copeland, the owner of the shop, understands what people are going through, but makes it clear that patience must be a virtue.
So many cars got hit at the same time. It's just, especially like the common cars like Hondas, so many Hondas, they're running out of windows, they're running out of glass. So they're dependent on the shipping to get it to them, and the shipping is slow now too. And especially with the COVID has a lot of strain on it too. But our policy is if you just be patient and wait with us, we'll get it done.
As people continue to recover, it's just best to wait and prepare for what's next. Myles Hartman, OU Nightly.
Customers in need of auto repair would have to wait over a month to get their vehicles restored.
And if you're looking to increase your immunity to COVID,
we have new information on which booster shot you can get. Plus, going cold turkey is hard, but are e-cigarettes the solution to quit smoking?
Find out when we return.
Big news for those looking to get a booster shot. Mixing COVID-19 vaccines might be the new normal. Kaitlyn Deggs joins us in Health Beat with an update from the FDA.
Kayla, the FDA might soon allow people to mix and match COVID-19 shots for their booster. They are expected to make an announcement about mixing shots as early as this week. The National Institutes of Health presented data from an ongoing study to FDA vaccine advisors showing that it did not matter which shot people got first or which booster they received. Mixing booster shots could also provide a good response to the Delta variant, as the preliminary study shows that getting different shots amplifies immune response. A new study shows that e-cigarette usage is not the answer to quitting smoking regular cigarettes. Researchers looked at smokers who had quit cigarettes cold turkey and those who had used another form of tobacco to wean themselves off of cigarettes. About 50% of the cold turkey group had stayed away from cigarettes, while only 40% of the weaning group did. The researchers concluded that if e-cigarettes were a viable way of quitting actual cigarettes, those who switched over would have seen a lower relapse rate. And good news for those who suffer from hearing loss, you might soon be able to buy hearing aids without having to visit a doctor. The FDA proposed a new rule today to allow buying hearing devices without a prescription, exam, or fitting. This comes after President Biden called for more open access to medical devices. The rule seeks to make hearing aids more affordable by making them more available. The public can comment on the proposition for 90 days. And guys, new CDC research shows that binge drinking is becoming a problem for many Americans. It is now affecting 1 in 6 people in the U.S. Back to you both.
Thanks, Kaitlyn. Small pantries around Norman are making a big impact on the hungry.
Stay tuned to see how you can help fight food insecurity in your community.
And Hannah, what's coming up next in weather?
Well, guys, we're looking at warm temperatures today, but we could see a cold front moving through overnight, and some areas of Oklahoma could even see some more rainfall. I'll have more on that after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. We're looking at quite the roller coaster of temperatures this week. We will see a cold front pushing us below average around the end of the week and then into this weekend, climbing once again back up into the 80s, and that heat is not going anywhere. The week after that, we're once again going to see those warmer temperatures prevail, and all of that is putting a damper on our fall foliage here in Oklahoma. We're still looking at those patchy tree colors, but as we head into the beginning of November, that's when we'll really start to see those peak fall colors. Now for this week, we're looking at this cold front pushing through tomorrow, bringing a bit cooler temperatures, but after that we'll see this ridge building over the southern plains, bringing us once again those warmer above average temperatures. But if you look at tomorrow, you can see this cold front pushing through where we have these clouds lining up across central Oklahoma, moving through early tomorrow morning and pushing off towards the southeast, bringing us those cooler temperatures. Also some spotty showers in southeastern Oklahoma, but most of us staying relatively dry. So if you are looking to get outside this weekend, head to a pumpkin patch. It's going to be beautiful. We're in the 70s, 75 Friday, and then 80s into the weekend with not a cloud in the sky. We could see just a few patchy clouds throughout the weekend, but right now, very windy out in the Panhandle. We're looking at elevated fire conditions because of that. We also have warm temperatures out there due to those strong southerly winds, keeping us in the mid 80s. The rest of us right now seeing temperatures in the high 70s, but daylight savings is quickly ending as we head into the beginning of November. Sun setting tonight around 6:49, but by the start of November, we'll be setting at 5:30. So it's certainly going to start getting darker much quicker. But for tomorrow, waking up a bit warmer. We'll be in the 60s, warming up quickly into the mid 70s, feeling like a beautiful day with just some breezy winds. But for tomorrow, once again, we'll see that cold front. Then Thursday, dry and warming up. Friday, we do have that scattered chance of showers across southeastern Oklahoma, but then for the rest of the week, seeing temperatures in the 80s, guys.
Thanks, Hannah. 1 out of 6 people in Oklahoma are unsure of where they will get their next meal, and 1 in 3 children went to bed hungry during the pandemic. 7 months marks a step in the right direction toward the end to food insecurity.
Across Norman, these little pantries are making a big impact.
The food pantries seem like a perfect system. During COVID, you don't have to have person-to-person contact. You can just show up and put something in there or take something out and not have to interact with anybody.
Pantry Watch Norman partnered with Red Dirt Collective to help the community with food insecurity, building the pantries around Norman.
COVID, we've noticed like more people use it now more than ever, all of the pantries. And yeah, we're just trying to fill like needs that have come up from that have been existing and then maybe are exacerbated, or like people that this is a new problem they're facing.
And it's a leave what you can and take what you need type of deal.
It's not rich people, you know, it's people that are getting food bank boxes and then eating what they like, and then the stuff that they don't like they're taking to the pantries, because you notice like the food bank has its own specific brands, and so it's people that are showing solidarity with other people that are in a similar situation.
Donations don't cover everything though.
When we first started the pantries, we noticed that a lot of people were putting in canned goods and box goods. There wasn't a whole lot of fresh stuff because it's just really expensive to buy fresh food. So we had the idea of making a community garden and putting it in a place that everybody could come out and help work it. So we adopted this park. It's called Colonial Commons.
An idea organizers hope will grow each year. Shannon, Ehrhardt, OU Nightly.
The pantries are open 24/7 and anyone is welcome to donate. You can find both the location and status of pantries on Facebook at the pantry page Norman.
Carly, it sounds like Caleb Williams added another accomplishment to his list.
That's right, Kayleigh. Stick around to find out what else the freshman phenom is adding to his resume. Plus, NBA star Ben Simmons is causing more drama in the locker room. Sports is next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Carly Murray, and it's time for sports. The Sooners football team has what should be a one-sided affair this weekend in Lawrence, and their fans can't stop talking about dynamic QB1 Caleb Williams. The star freshman was named Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week for his 5 TD debut against TCU. So what happens if the Sooners build a big lead against Kansas this Saturday? Could we see the return of number 7 in the second half?
Probably a lot that goes into it. You know, would it be different potentially now? Possibly, depending on the situation with the guy that's the starter right now that's a little more inexperienced.
Our replays of Sooner Sports Pat this fall, you are in luck. Last night's episode on Bally Sports featured an interview with wrestling star Justin Thomas and a look back at Williams' debut. Stay tuned right after this newscast for a replay. And moving on from OU sports, Washington State football coach Nick Rolovich and 4 assistant coaches were fired yesterday for not complying with the state's COVID vaccine mandate. Rolovich did not explain why he refused to get vaccinated. He sacrificed a $3 million annual salary. Defensive coordinator Jake Dickert will be the interim head coach on Saturday at home against BYU. And on Monday Night Football, Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans had a night against the Buffalo Bills. Henry scored his 3rd touchdown of the night with 3:05 left on the clock. He had 143 yards on the ground and averaged over 7 yards per carry. The Titans defense stopped QB Josh Allen on a 4th down quarterback sneak in the last seconds of the game to beat the Bills 34-31. The Boston Red Sox take Game 3 of the ALCS versus the Houston Astros. Kyle Schwarber hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 2nd to give the Red Sox a 6-0 lead. And Christian Arroyo's 2-run homer in the bottom of the 3rd extended the lead 9-0. The final score was 12-3 Boston. The Red Sox lead the series 2-1. Game 4 is tonight at 7:08 p.m. And it is the day all NBA fans have been waiting for. Opening night of the 2021-2022 NBA season is finally here. After weeks of preseason play, the official season openers are sure to impress. Kevin Durant and the Nets take on the reigning champs and MVP Giannis and the Bucks at 6:30 p.m. Steph Curry and the Warriors will face LeBron and the Lakers at 9 p.m. The 76ers announced that Ben Simmons has been suspended 1 game for conduct in today's practice. Simmons will serve his suspension tomorrow on opening night for the Sixers against the Pelicans. This comes after Simmons repeatedly asking for a trade and missing 4 preseason games. Simmons will be fined $250,000 after tomorrow's suspension. Teammate Joel Embiid spoke on Simmons' behavior earlier today.
At this point, I don't care about that man, honestly. He does whatever he wants. You know, that's not my job. You know, that's those guys' jobs. You know, I'm only focused on trying to make the team better.
Sounds like Ben Simmons isn't the ideal teammate. What do you guys think?
No, definitely not. Not like the one I have up here. Oh. And if you have a big appetite, this next one is for you.
Stay hungry. We'll be right back.
We're at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Zillow announced today that they will not be buying any more homes the rest of the year. The real estate company bought 3,800 homes in the second quarter and says they have hit their limit. This news also comes due to the national labor shortage and shortage of materials. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Stone. We know that Karens are known for their big mouths, which is fitting because this new food challenge is quite the mouthful.
Yes, and to make the Karen burrito, chicken strips, bacon, and a pound of lettuce are wrapped in 4 tortilla shells.
And if that's not enough, it comes with 2 pounds of fries.
So far, 8 people have attempted the challenge, and if you're feeling adventurous, head out to Casper, Wyoming to give this belt-busting burrito a go.
And I'm glad to see this calmer weather this week. Hannah, what's the deal with all those tornadoes we've had in October?
Well, Kaylee, it's hard to believe that just a week ago we were seeing tornado warnings and large hail. We're still seeing cars driving around with broken windshields, but the NWS this morning reported 28 tornadoes in the month of October for Oklahoma. That is a new record, so certainly unusual for our fall severe weather season, but certainly a different story this week. Tomorrow we will see a cold front coming through, dropping temperatures back down into the mid-70s. After that, though, we'll dry out just a bit into Friday. Could see some scattered showers early Friday morning. After that, looking at sunny skies in the 80s, and we will have a pretty mild pattern after that, looking absolutely beautiful. Guys, back to you.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communication on the campus of the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you right back here tomorrow, live at 4:30. Good night.